Hello, and welcome once again to Celebrity and Variety Talk. Hello, you guys. I know I haven't been on in a while, and I'm coming on now just to talk about what's really going on. I had to give myself a break because it's just so much going on, and I just had to give myself a break from all of the negative stuff that was going on, and I had to center myself with some positive things. But I'm back to bring some more commentary to you and some update news, which everyone already probably know. Actually, that El Paso shooting, that's the first one I want to touch on. This was really, really horrific, you guys, because so many people lost their lives. And can you imagine all the families that are grieving at this time? Can you imagine the people with big hearts in the world are grieving at this time? Kids that have lost parents, parents that have lost kids, and the young man that actually did it is still alive. He's alive whether he's in jail or not. He is still alive and he has taken the lives of many, many people. That is so horrific to me. When these people go out and they commit these type of crimes, but they're smart enough to save their own lives. That's really something. You can go out and take other people's lives, but you're going to save yours. You're not big and bad enough to even take your own life. Now, in some cases, people do take their own lives. That was just, that was horrific. That was the largest, I understand that was the largest killings that ever happened at one time in El Paso. They said, I think it was like 20 something killings, within a year or something like that. And this happened within a day. That was really something, and all the people that are injured. And so let's pray for all of those people that are still going through it, and hopefully the ones that are in the hospital are being released, and God is really working to heal those people. That guy had to really be crazy to drive all the way from Dallas, Texas to go there. I think it was like a 9 to 11 hour drive to go and seek out people because of the fact that of the immigration situation. That is really something. It's called copycat stuff, or when people hear things about immigration, um, the weak minded people will go and do some serious, stupid crimes like this young man did. Another thing, at first, I thought he was Hispanic because, he didn't look all the way Caucasian. He had looked like his hair was curly unless it was wet. And he had the last name kind of sounded, to me, it sounded a little something. It wasn't, I really thought that he had Hispanic or something in his blood. And then for him to go there to El Paso, Texas, and to kill all of these people, that was so sad. A lot of them were from Mexico, and I think a lot of them were from here as well. So they should automatically just give him the death penalty straight off. I'm not for the death penalty, but in this particular case, all of the lives that he has taken away from society, away these kids, parents away from them, parents away from the kids, it's just, oh man, that's something else. And now my next topic is about Ohio. I've been really, really busy, and this stuff just all hit me at one time. The Ohio killings, that was something. And this young man went into the club with his sister, and then he's going to turn around and kill his own sister, you guys. What's really going on? That's what my topic is about today. While I'm going through all of this, I do want to thank you guys for tuning in to Celebrity Variety Talk Show. And, I knew I hadn't been on in a while, and I think I'm going to be doing some other stuff later, so you'll be looking out for it. Uh, I'm not sure if I'll be doing it on this channel, though, but I will be doing some things, so you can just look me up. But one thing I wanted to say is that Ohio guy, Dayton, Ohio, he went in the club with his sister. He already knew he was going to kill his sister. You know, he already knew that. When he walked in that club with her that night, he knew that he was going to kill his own blood sister. What's really going on? If anybody can tell me what's really going on, everything is so negative. This world has got to change. I mean, the people in the world has to change. This gun stuff and killing each other. I mean, my God, it's horrific. I mean, it started out that when I first started doing my commentary, it was about the young man that killed his parents, the A.J. Armstrong story in Houston, and allegedly shot his parents. And then about the Malia Davis story where uh, the stepfather, uh, well, the mother's fiance allegedly killed the child, and the mother allegedly knew everything about him mistreating her child. I started out with that. And it was all about all of these people killing their babies. And then now it's just people killing tons of people at one time. And this has really given, the Ohio has been given the clubs bad names, and then also the killings at Walmart and other people walking into Walmart now. See, since that happened, they're walking in with guns, so it's giving Walmart a real bad name. Matter of fact, I really needed something at Walmart. I couldn't go in there. That's a shame. I could not go in Walmart because I had a feeling and it just still made me sick of the stomach. I haven't gotten over that horrific incident that happened at Walmart in El Paso. So if I felt like that, you know how many people feel like being afraid to go in Walmart because anything could jump off because you got all of these copycats, you guys? Something else. What do you think about that? Now, back to the Ohio story. The young man, he knew he was going to kill his sister. He knew she was in there. Now, I heard that she allegedly had a black boyfriend, and that was why he didn't mind killing her. This is what I heard. I'm not sure if it's true or not. So if anybody know anything about it, please leave comments and let me know. But that was just, oh my gosh. Can you imagine? And one man, I read a story about, he had called his dad to let's go hang out. And so his daddy went with him, and his daddy died in his arms. I mean, I really wanted to cry when I read that story. The young man said he had a fabulous father, and they oftentimes they would go fishing and do all these nice things together as a father and son. And he was an only child that his father had. And he said when the shots started firing, he and his father hit the ground, and he got up, but his daddy did not get up. And so he knew that his father had been hit. And so his father died right there in his arms. That is really sad. That's a feeling that'll never leave you when you know your parent was shot right there, and you was there watching them die. It was hard enough for me to see my mother being bedridden, and just to see her go through her illness and her strokes, and can you imagine somebody just taking someone off the planet of the earth, just shooting them down like dogs? My God, this stuff has to stop. What's really going on? What's really happening, you guys? What is really going on? That's my topic today. Another thing I wanted to say about the Ohio story, thank God it was a cop that was somewhere on the scene or near, because they said within 30 seconds or so, they killed the suspect. That was quick because can you imagine it would have been probably more people had they not got him in time. You see? So these people are turning around killing all these people, but they don't turn the gun back to themselves. That's really something. And they're committing these huge crimes. And then what do you guys think about the shooting in Houston on the freeway? Other people could have gotten injured. That's another story in Houston, Texas. It was a shootout, and two African American men was shot in the middle of ongoing traffic. It was, I think it was, yeah, it was traffic time. It was like, traffic hour. I think about 6 p.m. in the evening when people are getting off from work. Oh my God, that was sad. And I saw people trying to help revive the bodies, some good Samaritans. It's just bad, and they have not caught that suspect yet. That was another crime, and all this stuff was happening back to back, back to back. And then did you guys hear about the guy? I think two different incidents in LA where uh, people were just stabbing people and killing people. One guy went to the apartment unit and just started stabbing people and just killing up people. People are really, what's really going on? If somebody could tell me what's really going on, you guys, it is really, really, really sad out here. And then I just read a few moments ago where in Houston, Texas, it's called Fifth Ward. You know, the wards were the areas where everything was going on. So it happened where it was a shootout. And so the cops, someone called the cops and told them that it was a shootout. And when the cops got there, when they reached there was a man holding a gun on the people that he actually had shot at or had shot. And the cops demanded for him to put down the weapon. So he did not put down the weapon. Now, he didn't turn the gun towards the cops. However, he still had the gun towards the people, the other people. So when the cops gave him that demand and he did not put that gun down, they had no other choice in this case. This particular case, the cops had no other choice but to shoot him because they didn't know if he was going to turn around with that gun and shoot them. So they shot him in the torso, and actually, I think this man is going to survive. He's going to have more surgeries, but he survived. And you know what? He was very lucky because anytime someone have a gun in their hand and they're not doing the demands of a police officer, they're lucky. That person was lucky because oftentimes we see where the cops will just shoot you just because you have a cell phone in your hand. In this case, these cops gave that man the benefit of the doubt with a gun. And I call it straight like it is. So in this particular case, they were right. They should not be charged because if anybody with a gun, all they had to do was turn around and shoot the cops. The cops gave him a chance. So before they turned and shot them, they shot him. So he's lucky. That man there is lucky that he's alive, and I think the other people will survive that shooting. Another thing I saw today, what's really going on? That's my topic. Another thing I saw today, there was a yard man doing someone's yard, and he was just standing there and he had his blower in the yard. You know, the blower that you blow leaves with. And a young man jumped out of a little car and pulled out a gun and ran and took the blower out the yard and put it in his car and took off. And someone had the door ring on their door and it picked up everything in that young man's face. See, people don't know cameras are everywhere. You can't do anything and think you're going to get away with it because now that camera is out there and his face was on the camera biggest day, you guys. What's really going on? Then another thing I read, you see, this is why I gave myself a break because it's just so much negative going on, like this world is coming to an end, you guys. Another thing I read was about this was a minister who was supposedly helped a young girl who had already been sexually molested, and he turned around and victimized her again, and he sexually molested her at the age of 15. She was afraid to come forward because he allegedly told her that if she came forth, he would tell on her and had her mind all messed up because she was already messed up from being raped and sexually abused before. So she's trusting her minister, went to her minister to talk about that case, and instead he victimized her over again. Isn't that something? This world is coming to an end. What's really going on? Can someone tell me? Please leave it in your comments. Let me know what you think. It's just sad out here. You can't go anywhere. You can't travel. You got people pilots that are getting drunk. I don't know if you guys heard about this, where it was this pilot and he was going through a line, and when he saw that they were doing security check on pilots, he tried to detour and they got him. He was drunk as a skunk. Drunk as a skunk, you guys. Now, this is the man that was going to be flying an airplane that hundreds of people were on. At least probably 150, because you know how they fill the planes to try to make the money. And then I think I did a commentary where this lady was crazy and she jumped in the overhead of the carry-on luggage bin, and she laid down there for 10 minutes, a flight attendant. I mean, with a dress on, you had to jump seats to, because that's pretty high to put, where you put your luggage overhead, overhead bin. That woman laid down in that overhead bin, a flight attendant, for about 10 minutes, and people could not put their luggage. What's really going on? What's happening? That's my topic. What's really going on, you guys? And then, shortly after that, a few days later, I heard about a flight attendant that was skunky drunk. I mean, and the passengers noticed that this lady here is, they smelled alcohol on her breath, and she was waggling around down the aisles trying to, pass people their drinks and stuff, shaking. And oh my God, what's really going on, you guys? Please tell me what's going on. It's just so much going on. People killing their kids, and what about the coach in Houston that he had a mistrial? They found him guilty for the second time, and they found him guilty. However, they could not give a sentence, so it was a mistrial on that. And I noticed that that was the same judge that was with the A.J. Armstrong story, because I saw it on the news, and it was that same judge handling that case with the ex football coach in Houston, Texas, who actually allegedly murdered his wife. And I think he had did some time, and he got out, and so they're retrying him. They found him guilty, and they had a mistrial on the verdict. It was two people that held out on his sentencing. And in the A.J. Armstrong story, where the young man allegedly killed his parents with pillows over their head, it was four people that held out on him. So they're going to retry him, I think, sometime in October. What's really going on, you guys? What's going on? Like Marvin Gaye, what's going on? What's going on? Tell me. My God, it's so much stuff going on in the world, you guys. So you just have to think positive. And like I said, I did give myself a break, and I'm going to start a whole new, um, I'm going to try to do something different somewhere else. And you'll find me. Just look me up, because this stuff is just, I'm going to have to try to bring a positive something to you guys, because I mean, it's just crazy. So with that, let me know what you think. And let's still pray and hope that justice is done for Malia Davis, because they found out that Darian Vance actually did do something to that baby. And I still feel, and everyone else still feels, that the mother really should have protected her more. And it's not over yet, because they're still doing investigations. One thing I did notice, that when they said that Darian Vance will be charged upgrade charges on him, the way they presented it, they didn't say that actually she was raped or anything. But if you look at some of my videos early on, I said that he possibly could have raped that baby and killed her. And they didn't say it, but they said something to the sort that he did something, and she wasn't 15 or something like that, as if he shouldn't have did that to a baby 4 years old, whatever it is that he did to her. So maybe they want to keep that private and respect the baby, in privacy, and they already know what he did to her. And that was just horrific. And on that picture, it was that picture with his eyes drooped down. I even said that. And I said, if you read his eyes, you could see he did something terrible. It looked like a rapist, really, it did to me. And that was why I said that on some of my videos, and people were upset at me about it. And now they see that he actually did hurt her. And the way they said hurt, they didn't say he beat, they said he hurt her and harmed her, which means what? It could be nothing else other than rape. Because if he hurt her and harmed her, and they didn't say he beat her, strangled her, or anything like that, they possibly found evidence, allegedly, that he could have raped her, as I felt in the very beginning, because of the fact that he always was holding that baby, and people was bashing me for that. They was saying, "Oh, he just loved that baby. He this and that." I mean, why would he love her that much? That wasn't his child. I mean, it's okay. I love children too, but I'm not going to be holding everybody's kids like that, especially if they're not mine, and overly showing love. You can love at a distance. You don't have to always have a little girl sitting in your lap and picking her up and putting her vibes and energy all over you and feeling her energy like that. You have respect and hold your distance, especially with a man and a little girl, and it's not his. And even if it is his, because that gets little girls attached to men. Anytime a man put his presence over a child, that's going to be all she know. And that's what makes little girls grow up too fast, when they always running up to men, and because that's all they know. You got to teach them right from wrong, and that was where Brittany failed. So all of the videos that people are saying that Brittany Barnes is at fault, all of this stuff will be coming out, and I'm quite sure they're going to subpoena her. They're going to subpoena her friend Jeanette Gus, or whoever she was that picked her up, and this stuff is not over. It's not. It's just like that little boy that was left in that hot van at that daycare, and Discovery Me Daycare, and they found out a year later, and they charged someone. This stuff can go on and on when people think they have gotten off, and then bam, bam, a lamb, bam, 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 there it is. Like they say, whoops, there it is. They got him. And that's what happened with that little boy that they left on that van, because they did not, the Discovering Me Daycare in Houston, Texas, they did not go back on that van to check to make sure all of those children were off of that hot ass van. And so now the man that should have done it is charged with murder. So people may think they are getting off. Whoever aided Darian Vance, whoever was involved in that situation with Malia Davis, it's all going to come to a head. You can't run and you can't hide. What's in the dark comes to the light. And that's the way it is. So, you guys, I'm going to end my commentary. But again, I thank you so much for tuning in to Celebrity Variety Talk. I'm your host, Josie Latimer, and thank you once again for tuning in. Good night.